Thank you and welcome to the show today. The topic today is higher education at the 21st century. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about higher education at the 21st century, Dr. EKSanford. Dr. Sanford is a sociologist at Tennessee State University. And of course, Dr. Sanford, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
All right, thank you so very much for having me.
And of course, we're glad to have you with us this morning, Dr. Sanford. We know that the topic that we're going to deal with this morning in higher education at the 21st century is a very, very important topic.
Absolutely.
And what we'd like to do is to get into a discussion in reference to what it means to be involved in higher education at the 21st century and some of the other aspects of higher education at the 21st century. But before we do that, Dr. Sanford, let's see if we can have you give our audience an opportunity to know you and to become familiar with some of the things that you're going to talk about by giving us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of leading you eventually to Tennessee State University in the Department of Sociology, and then we'll talk about other things.
Absolutely, and thank you again. As you said, my name is EKSanford, and I'm an associate professor at Tennessee State University in the Department of Sociology. I've been here now 1 year, but I have been in the TBR system as the chairperson of the Department of Sociology at Austin Peay State University for a number of years prior to coming to TSU. And I've been so fortunate and happy to actually be here. But prior to my tenure here at Tennessee State and here within the Tennessee Board of Regents, I was at the University of Montana, in Missoula, Montana. And then prior to there, I was in State College, Pennsylvania, where I did a postdoctorate, NIMH, a National Institute of Mental Health postdoc degree at the Pennsylvania State University. I also taught there in the Africana Studies program for a year before coming to the University of Montana. And then prior to that, I think it's very important to know that I was at Howard University in Washington, D.C., where I received my doctorate degree. There I did my dissertation on the homeless elderly. And I also worked in the Washington, D.C. area with the national headquarters of the American Red Cross doing HIV/AIDS education, research, evaluation, as well as with the national headquarters of the American Association of Retired Persons. And prior to that stint in Washington, D.C., it takes me back to my hometown in Oxford, North Carolina, where I was born. And I did my undergraduate degree at North Carolina Central University. Then I did a master's degree at North Carolina Central University, as well as the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. But one of the things I've been interested in while doing that master's degree was in the sociology of education. And while doing that master's degree, I was interested in why students enter into institutions of higher learning and drop out before they obtain their degrees. And while working on that master's degree, I did some work at Duke University on the school desegregation. As you know, we're at the 50th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education, and I'm very proud to say that I worked on a very powerful research project in relation to that while living in North Carolina.
Very good. You know, Dr. Sanford, with your background, not only should you be able to give us quite a bit of information relative to higher education at the 21st century, but you have such a wide variety of careers in a real sense that we can also pull into this whole object of higher education at the 21st century. Let's see if we can get some preliminary statements in reference to what it means to talk about higher education at the 21st century. Exactly what is higher education at the 21st century? And then we'll talk about some other aspects after our first commercial break.
Absolutely. That's a very important question to ask and for us all to be familiar with. As we live in this telecommunication society, in today's society of the 21st century, it is very important that we all be aware of the importance of higher education. Sociologically, the institution of education was one of the most important institutions within the society in which we live in. So from pre-kindergarten to elementary school to junior high school to high school, and then entering into higher education is very important in this telecommunication society in which we live in. So with that, we have to give some very strong consideration to early education, secondary education, as we prepare students to enter into institutions of higher learning. And I think it's very important for all of us to understand that, as well as family members, as well as professors, so we can prepare students for this new type of technology that we are going to have to be familiar with and know about as we move into this, or already in the 21st century.
Well, over the last 20 seconds that we have during this segment, Doctor, would you say that it's almost mandatory that every individual be exposed to higher education in the 21st century, just as every individual probably was exposed to a lower form of education in the 19th and the 20th century? Would that be a good statement?
That's an excellent statement, and it's so very true.
And let us take this commercial break, and we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll be back with our topic is higher education at the